ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ Namaste, all of you. Welcome back to our continuing study of this great text, Vivekachudamani, authored by Sri Adi Shankaracharya eons ago and taught to us by our dear Acharya, our Guru, our friend, philosopher, and guide, Swami Paramarthananda. We will now continue our study of Vivekachudamani and hear from Swamiji how the teaching develops in the upcoming shlokas. Shloka 14 and Shloka 15. Shloka 14 runs like this. Adhikarinamaशास्ते फलसिद्धिर्विशेषतः उपायादेशकालाद्याः सन्त्यस्मिन् सहकारिणः. And Shloka 15. Ato vicharah kartavyah jignasoratmavastunah समासाद्य दया सिंधुम गुरुम ब्रह्म विदुत्तमम. Swamiji says in the 13th shloka, which was Arthasya Nischayo Drishtaha Vicharena Hitoktitaha Na Snanena Na Danena Pranayama Shatena Va. In this shloka, Shankaracharya concludes the topic of Jnanam and Vicharaha. Shankaracharya began the topic in shloka number 8, continued with 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. 6 shlokas. He concludes the topic of Jnanam and Vicharaha. Jnanam as moksha sadhanam. Jnanam as sakshat mokshaika sadhanam. And Vicharaha as Jnana sadhanam. Jnanam as moksha sadhanam and Vicharaha as Jnana sadhanam. In the 14th verse and onwards, Shankaracharya shifts focus to the next topic, to the next important topic. The qualifications required for a student of Vedanta previously discussed in Tattvabodha as Sadhana Chatushtayam. Shankaracharya now enters the topic of qualifications on the part of the student. This will be a key focus area. This will be a key focus area in this section and should be highlighted in the admission form. Every school and every college, every professional degree has an admission form, isn't it? Likewise, the study of Vedanta also has an admission form in which sadhana chatushtayam plays a very important and key role, says our dear Swamiji. This is called adhikaritvam. Adhikaritvam. Adhikari refers to someone who is eligible for spiritual study. And adhikaritvam is the state of being eligible, eligibility. Adhikari refers to the person, someone who is eligible for spiritual study, and adhikaritvam is the state of being eligible, eligibility. This starts from the 14th verse. From the 14th verse. However, Swamiji will first cover the 15th verse before the 14th, as it seamlessly integrates with the topic of vichara, allowing him to combine it with jnanam and vichara. The 15th shloka continues with the topic of jnanam and vichara. Therefore, Swamiji chooses to change the order of teaching, going from the 13th to the 15th and then moving back to the 14th. Thus, the order of our study will be verse 12, 13, 15, and then 14. 12, 13, 15, and then 14. Covering the 15th verse, 15th shloka, wraps up the topic of jnanam and vichara. Swamiji will move on then to verse 15 and then to 16 and further focusing on the topic of adhikaritva. That's the order. So 13, 15, 14, 16 and then on in sequence. Swamiji says he would have preferred the order of verses 13, 15 and 14 but tradition being what it is, he does not have the courage to do so. Nevertheless, we will now examine verse 15. verse 15. And the first three words of verse 15 are Atah Vichara Kartavyah. Atah Vichara Kartavyah. Connecting this idea with what was presented in verse 13. Arthasya nischayo drishtaha vicharena hitoktitaha. Connecting this atah vichara kartavya with the idea presented in shloka 13 ensures continuity. Ensures continuity. In verse 13, Shankaracharya said Vichara alone will result in knowledge. Vichara alone will result in knowledge. Here in verse 15, he says, Ataha, Ataha. Since Vichara alone produces knowledge, since Vichara alone produces knowledge, Ataha can be equated to therefore. One should engage in Vichara, not any Vichara. In Tamil, the word Vichara means to worry. Here, we are not talking about the Tamil Vichara, we are talking about the Sanskrit Vichara. We're talking about Shastra Vichara. Shastra Vichara. And how must one practice Shastra Vichara? Shankaracharya said, Hitoktitaha. Hitoktitaha in Shloka 13. Aided by a Hitokti, a well-wisher, a guru, an acharya. And who should this vichara be done by? Who must do this vichara? Shankaracharya says, Jigyasaha, Jigyaso, by a person seeking knowledge. By a person seeking knowledge. Jigyasuhu means a seeker of knowledge. A seeker of knowledge. Jnatum ichhum iti or jnatum ichhuhu iti jigyasuhu. Jnatum ichhuhu iti jigyasuhu. These are beautiful words in Sanskrit. Beautiful words in Sanskrit. These constructions of words are called desiderative. Desiderative. Denoting a verb formed from another and expressing a desire to do the act. Denoted by the root verb. Denoted by the root verb. A desiderative denotes a verb formed from another and expressing a desire to do the act denoted by the root verb. Jij, jij in the case of jignasu, jij, the root verb conveys the meaning of desire for knowledge. Jignasuhu, Jigyasuhu means desirer of knowledge. Likewise, the word mumukshuhu means desirer of moksha. Moktum ichuhu mumukshuhu. Moktum ichuhu mumukshuhu. Similarly, padishuhu means desirer of studying. Jigamishuhu, jigamishuhu means desirer of going. Vividishuhu means desirer of knowing. The suffix shuhu, the suffix shuhu in Sanskrit indicates one who desires. The suffix shuhu indicates one who desires. Not in the sense that all desirers should wear shoes. Thus, Shankaracharya says, जिज्ञासुः विचारः कर्तव्यः जिज्ञासुः जिज्ञासुः विचारः कर्तव्यः. One who desires knowledge of the self, atma vastunah, must inquire into the self. Must inquire into the self. Here, the word vastu means the reality. Here, the word vastu means the reality. Atma vastu means atma, the reality. The word vastu means the reality. Atma vastu means atma, which is the reality. Brahman, which is the reality. Satya Atma iti artha. Satya Atma iti artha. And what does this mean? What does this mean? Let us find out in the following capsule and take our study forward. Hari Om.